Hey now, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I thought, this Flash Arrow crossover, it was a two-part event, 2 nights in a row. Let's talk about it. This is pretty huge. I know they did it last year, but this one was very different. Last year's crossover was like 2 completely different stories for 2 different episodes. Didn't have to be watched together. This was a continuous, almost one long movie. So I very much enjoyed it. The first episode from last night was entitled Legends of Today, and we see the arrival of Vandal Savage. Here's a villain that not only have I known a little bit from the comic books and from one of the Justice League animated movies that came out recently, but he was somebody that I knew was coming for the Legends of Tomorrow show. And his arrival, when he shows up and he's with those crew of guys on the ship and he does his magic tricks to get out of the handcuffs and kills them all, that's an introduction for a villain to show how evil he is, how capable he is, and how vicious he can be. So I like that. I like this actor who plays him too. He looks perfect for the part. Also, we see him go after Kendra almost immediately when her and Cisco are dating. And you know what? I feel really bad for Cisco in this whole situation. You know, because at first I thought Kendra knew who she was aware of her powers, and that she's Hawk Girl. But she was just, you know, doing what she was doing, maybe hiding out. Now, though, that I know that she didn't have the memory, didn't know, and she really was interested in Cisco, but Destiny says that they're not supposed to be together. She's supposed to be with Carter. I'm like, that sucks, dude. Cisco, here's a guy who completely overachieved and got our girl out of his league. She was very hot and a cool chick. It sucks for him, it does. The Flash comes in and saves him. Now, as much as I felt bad for Cisco, what the fuck? He says, oh, hey, thanks, Barry, in front of Kendra. Completely exposes Flash's secret identity. It's like, what's the point of the mask or the secret identity? Why do you know the secret if you just easily say that in front of somebody? Come on, Cisco, you're smarter than that. And I know it's like, well, it's Kendra, it's Hawk Girl, she's going to be part of the group, so she's going to find out anyways, probably, but it's just the way how it went about, it just seemed like she could have been anybody. And Cisco just gave away Barry's identity. I don't know. Something so small, but it bothered me a lot. Now, Flash, he decides to get help on keeping Kendra safe. So he goes to SAR City. I love the way how he was like, oh, well, I mean, what could they be doing? They're not busy. And then you immediately cut to Arrow, Thea, and Diggle going to fight Damien Dark's men, which is pretty cool. The fact that Oliver has that arrow that, like, is a magnet for guns. That was very cool. But also, since we were, like, in the middle of seeing them go after Dark, like, there's so many... It was still a continuation of what the main plot of each show is, but yet everything gets put on hold for Savage. Hell, Dark had a hold of Oliver and was about to suck his life out until Flash shows up, saves them. I absolutely loved Thea's reaction of saying, like, holy crap, you're the Flash. She looks at Oliver and she's like, did I know that we know the Flash? I did not know that. She had so many sort of funny one-liners. I've never liked Thea more than I've liked her right now. She's strong, she's capable, sure, that's a plus, but just her sarcastic, funner attitude is something that I like as well. And Oliver's not happy. He, you know, obviously he's willing to help Barry whenever he needs help, but he got upset that Barry didn't ask the right questions, enough questions to Kendra to find out who this Savage character is, why is he after her, like how big is this? And maybe it came off as him being a little bit of a dick, but I got it. I understood that he was like, look, if I'm going to put my friends and family into this dangerous situation, I want to know why, and I want to know who we're up against. And he just didn't feel like Barry was thinking that far ahead about it. So I like that. Then Savage arrives in their little homie get together party, jumps through the glass, and they have this nice cool shootout, like Savage throwing knives because he has a jacket with knives inside. Interesting. And Oliver shooting arrows at him, but he's just dodging and dodging. And then Thea, badass, ends it, as she says. She just comes in and shoots him and knocks him off the ledge, the balcony. I don't know how Savage survived that, where he landed, but I like that Thea took charge. Oliver even yelled at her to stop, but it's like, fuck, with this guy, you might have to go that route of killing him. And she was willing to do it. Now, when they're in the arrow cave and they're talking about stuff, and then Malcolm just shows up with the League out of the shadows. Not only was it hilarious, but the second time when Malcolm did it, Barry's reaction to it was hilarious. He was like, is this the only way you know how to enter a room? It was kind of creepy, but also funny. Now, that's when we get the arrival of Hawkman, or Carter. And I very much like the fight between, it was Arrow and Flash versus Hawkman, because they don't know each other. So naturally, let's fight. That's how it works when heroes meet each other. They fight each other first. And it was cool. Obviously, they take him down, and that's where they get the backstory on his connection to Kendra and who she really is. It must be annoying as hell for Carter, for example. He says that they have died 206 times. So does that mean he's gone to Kendra 206 times and had to re-explain this whole history to her? Because apparently she's the one who continuously doesn't remember stuff, and he has to get her to remember everything. How annoying is that? I don't know. He seems to be okay with it. Now we get a quick side plot of Patty, Barry's now girlfriend. Is that official? I think it's official. She sees Harrison Wells, freaks out because, well, the real Harrison Wells was a criminal or a murderer, or at least Ebart Thawne inhabiting his body was the criminal. And so Patty shoots him. And the way how she shot him, it looked like she shot him in the heart. So I thought she just fucking killed Harrison Wells. I was shocked. Now, maybe if this was another character, I would have hated them doing that. The fact that she shot first and didn't really ask questions. But it made sense why she did it, you know. She didn't know what Wells was holding. It looked like a gun. And, too, with the guy's history, I can see why she shot him. It makes sense. It's just, it looks bad to everyone else. So, it sucks that, you know, West just shoot her away. It sucks that she's not a part of the group yet. She doesn't know what's going on. She's so in the dark. And, I don't know, I just really like the character. So, I hope that she does gain their trust sometime soon. And then the episode ends with Oliver meeting his son at that little coffee shop. And that was a great cliffhanger because that clearly bled into the next episode. The next episode from tonight was entitled Legends of Yesterday. And it begins with, we see in Egypt, Carter and Kendra. That wasn't their names back then. But I just wanted to say that the set piece, the costumes, I thought everything of that time, that Egypt pyramid time, looked great. It, like, I don't know what the budget is for shows like this, but they made that look super convincing. I really like just the designs of the sets. You really make it feel like it was those times. We see the group arrive in Central City. Again, Thea was very funny here. Also, the way how the scene was blocked. There's so many, you almost don't realize, there's so many characters in this scene. And everybody's having to talk, and they're all moving around each other. If you just go back and watch that scene and notice how much they probably had to block that and plan that to be shot in such a way where everybody was on their mark and timed out. The little things like that, I liked it. Then we see more of Oliver. He visits his son. his ex, and then he goes and gets the DNA test, finds out that he's the father, and he goes to see her, but she doesn't really want that. Hell, you find out she didn't even cash the check that Oliver's mom wrote her, which was very surprising. And she just doesn't want Oliver in his life for, I guess, certain reasons. But seeing Oliver have to deal with him having a son was very fascinating, seeing how he was going to go about it. But then you see how Felicity finds out about this and how this just blows up in Oliver's face. Where Felicity gets pissed. She gets pissed, not so much that he had the son, but that he didn't tell her. And that's something that I've been a little down on Felicity this season. She's annoyed me quite a bit. This, I understand her. I do. But I also understand Oliver, so it's not like I'm completely on her side. It sucks on both ends. You get where he's coming from, and it sucks, but she does have a right to be pissed. It seems like she breaks up with him. So, yeah, that's more drama. Then we see the actual showdown where Vandal Savage kills everybody. He kills Kendra, he kills Carter, and then he kills Oliver, which was disturbing to see. Like, a part of me knew that, okay, something has to happen. They did set it up earlier in the episode where Barry said to Cisco he feels like he's going to time travel soon. He got a feeling about it. So I guess I knew he was going to do it. But there's just something about seeing Oliver disintegrate into bones and then ash. It's just, I didn't like seeing it, He's a hero. And then the whole damn near city being blown to hell and all of our characters dying. It was like, yikes. Barry time travels. He's able to go back enough to warn Oliver, and so they try different tactic. This I liked. And the new plan, they're able to defeat Savage, because now it's all of them. They all go in full force, and they kill him. I mean, he disintegrates into ashes and dust. So I'm thinking, how does he come back for Legends of Tomorrow? Until you see, I mean, isn't it weird that they left his ashes there? Just left it there for anybody to find or anything to happen? Like, wouldn't you take it and make sure it doesn't... I don't know. A guy this mystical, why would you leave his ashes there? But now Malcolm Merlyn is taking it, and he's going to bring him back for whatever the fuck reason. This Merlyn guy, he did all of this to stop him or to tell the group how to stop him, but now he wants to bring him back. Let's make sense of that. And then also, you see that Oliver kind of takes the same approach towards his son, but this time he will have a relationship with him, just not as his father. He's just going to visit him every now and again, so I like that. But also, he decides not to tell Felicity this. And it's very different because she's not going to find out the same way. But I do feel like this is a sign, or that was a preview to things to come of them two not being together. What she said in the alternate timeline of him not trusting her enough to tell her, that still rings true. It's just happening in a different way. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, I loved this 2-part episode. I loved it. I loved it. Let me know in the comments below if you saw these episodes. What did you think of the crossover? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!